All right, guys, what is up? Hey now, got a little bit of light out. It's 7 o'clock, so let's get this over with, guys, because there's a lot to talk about in this volume 21 of Iron Man: The Crossing, 1995 to 1996, featuring 20 issues that cover 2 prologue issues and 18 parts, 18 tie-ins of the Crossing storyline, which is what this is named after, the Crossing. Holy jeez, guys. First of all, I just want to say, I remember some of you who are going to watch this at some point or who are watching it now probably weren't even alive back in 1995 or 1996. I was already a teenager, and I remember many of these covers because I didn't read Avengers or Force Works or Iron Man or War Machine or any of that. I didn't read The Crossing, but I remember seeing The Crossing, the 50-page book in the comic book store, because back then I was only getting X-Men and Spider-Man. I didn't give a fuck about the Avengers or any of that stuff, but I remember this so well by the cover, and not having read anything, not knowing really what the story was about, and getting the chance to read it, guys. I mean, wow. And fucking 30 years later, okay? We're already in 2025. This came out 1995 in comic books, in comic book form, guys. Yeah, okay. Let me do this one more time because I'm going to put this down. The Crossing, guys. This is from Iron Man number 319. And this is from, I think, Iron Man 323, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so much happens, guys. So where are we with this? Okay, so, God, okay. First of all, spoilers, guys. I will spoil a lot of things here. 512 pages, guys. I started it, I gave myself Sunday off. Started it yesterday, finished it just an hour, no, not even an hour, like half an hour ago. Went to a Starbucks and just banged out the last 4 issues. So, pretty remarkable. So, The Crossing is... Holy fuck. Guys, there's so much that happens here. Okay, this is everything in a nutshell from what I gleaned, and I'll try to remember some of the ancillary parts, the tie-ins, whatever. So the Avengers come together for an anniversary of the team being a team. you got the Beast. For whatever reason, Beast is there, but not U.S. Agent, not Spider-Woman, even though they were a part of the Avengers. They're now with Force Works. I'm talking about U.S. Agent and Spider-Woman. Of course, Beast is with the X-Men at this point, but for whatever reason, you have Quicksilver, you have Crystal, you have Vision, you have Scarlet Witch, there's no Captain America, no Thor. I think Captain America had his thing with his armor. He was dying from that disease. Thor, I don't know what happened with Thor. I haven't read Thor's epics, which I'm dying to read at some point. I think this is probably where he was becoming powerless. I know the gods became human or whatever. So we have like Iron Man, we have all these, I wouldn't say unimportant members of Avengers, but it was just odd, the grouping. There's Hercules, there's Magdalene, there's Swordsman, just, yeah, I guess I would say non-essential Avengers, but some important ones. Anyway, Tony gathers them at the mansion. They're having a good time, and then slowly but surely, people are getting murdered. Marilla, Luna's nanny. Luna is the daughter of Quicksilver and Crystal. And Marilla, with her big mouth and her annoying Irish or Scottish accent, she gets killed. Yellow Jacket, Rita Damara, by the way. Rita Damara, who formerly was part of the Masters of Evil when they invaded the Avengers Mansion. Apparently she reformed and became a member of the Avengers at some point, but I don't even remember when. She gets killed. Gilgamesh gets murdered. Oh my God! It's just who else? It was. Oh no, I think that was initially. Later on, there's another woman, Amanda Chaney, who was part of Force Works. She gets murdered. It's funny. Aside from Gilgamesh, it seems like the killer is going after women. I don't know. It was just odd that very non-essential, unimportant people who happen to be females were getting killed off. But okay, whatever. And Gilgamesh was actually killed. Okay, so God, there's so much, guys. So anyway, during the crossing, everybody's celebrating, everybody's getting murdered. At one point, this dude named Newt, this little shrimp with a big, huge head, blue skin, he's part of the Anachronauts who work for Kang the Conqueror, or work for, they're slaves, servants, whatever, of Kang the Conqueror. And this one dude, Newt, stabs Gilgamesh and kills him. Fine, no big deal. Gilgamesh is no big deal. Suddenly everyone's like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? We're getting like murdered and killed here, and they don't know what's going on at first. However, Luna, little baby Luna, witnesses the murder of Yellow Jacket, and it turns out it is Tony Stark. For those of you who know the story, this is not a surprise to you. It wasn't a surprise to me because I never read this. But for those of you who haven't read these stories and don't mind getting spoiled, yeah. So Iron Man turns out to be the killer. He turns out to be the killer of Marilla. He later kills, like I said, Amanda Chaney, who, I just want to say also, with 18-ish, not even an 18 issue, it was like 18 parts of this massive event. Some of it could have been cut down by half. We didn't really need any of the Force Works stories or War Machine. I get it. It's part of the Avengers universe, just like X-Factor, X-Force, Excalibur, Generation X. They're part of X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, that whole X universe. So this is the A universe, but there were a lot of times and a lot of issues that I just did not care for some of the subplots and tie-ins here and there, particularly within Force Works and War Machine. But okay, they served their purpose in some way. But yeah, the main thing is that Tony is the killer. Nobody knows yet why or who or how or whatever. We just know that Tony is suffering from blackouts. And the blackouts are apparently caused by Kang the Conqueror and Mantis, the Celestial Madonna, formerly a member of the Avengers. And Kang and Mantis have formed an alliance. Tony also is in league with them, but having been, I wasn't clear on this, I don't know if he was coerced or just mind-fucked by Kang many years ago. But Tony is seemingly of his right mind, but he keeps suffering blackouts. So I'm not sure if this is a result of Kang's doing or if Tony really is psychotic and crazy. But we'll find out in the next volume 22, Age of Innocence. Again, don't know what's going to happen. If you guys know what's going to happen, leave it in the comments. You're not going to spoil anything with me. I'm actually really excited to know what happens. But throughout the whole thing, that's the main plot that you guys should know about. There are murders. Iron Man's the culprit, and nobody knows what to do. Nobody knows why or how this is happening, but for some reason, it's happening. And we go along through this journey throughout all these books. There's a dude named Moonraker or Slade Truman who shows up in Force Works. Turns out he's really Gustav Brandt, who was Libra of the Zodiac Cartel, who was actually revealed. Oh, it's all confusing, but later it's revealed that he's Mantis's father. And he was created by the priests of Pama in an effort to let everyone know that that Tony Stark was responsible for the murders and that Kang is behind the whole thing, behind the whole thing. I would say this is probably not a sequel, but pertaining to the Kang War back in the 70s. If you guys read that volume, it's volume 8 of Avengers, the Kang War, where now we're coming full circle on that because I remember Kang wanted to marry Mantis because she was the Celestial Madonna, but she chose Swordsman. Swordsman, of course, died and became the Kotati, who were like the plant, what do you call it? Like alien plants from the Kree Empire, along with the Kotati and the priests of Pama. They all came from the Kree Empire in outer space. And then they came to Vietnam. And so now the Kotati get captured by Mantis, oh God, and then there's okay, wait, there's a lot, guys, because then in the beginning there's Magdalena or Magdalene, and she disappears, and then Swordsman goes off into the woods. Oh, they meet this fortune teller named Tuck. And Tuck eventually abducts Luna from Quicksilver and Crystal, and they're like, "Oh my God!" Later on, they think Tony abducted her because because Luna witnessed Tony killing Yellow Jacket and eventually Marilla and all that stuff. So they think Tony's going to murder Luna, but it turns out Luna was abducted by Tuck and taken away. She eventually comes back as a teenager. So now Luna is a teenage, beautiful, blonde-haired woman who's She's haunting Tony's visions when Tony blanks out. He sees her. Swordsman sees her. Hercules sees her. Vision sees her in the beginning, because the Vision and Hercules and Swordsman fight the Anachronauts in the beginning, and then God, what's their names? Tobias. These two twins, Tobias and Malachi, who apparently are twins, and they're siblings. No, I'm sorry, they're children of Kang, but then they're also no. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. They're future siblings of Luna through Crystal and Quicksilver, I believe. Just read the book, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but they refer to Luna as like their sibling. So Luna's brought into the future by Tuck. I assume Tuck is probably Malachi or Tobias. I don't know. That's not made clear in this volume. Maybe in the next one. So then throughout it all, Tony at one point makes everyone think Hawkeye is the killer. And of course, they discover Hawkeye is not the killer, but Hawkeye is like determined to find Tony, but he's a fugitive because they think, oh yeah, he's the murderer. So then US Agent is involved. War Machine, Rhodey, he's involved. They bring in Black Widow to help them out because she had a thing with Hawkeye. So that's a whole thing in War Machine, a little bit in Force Works. Meanwhile, in Force Works, Tony planted this chronographic, right? Chronographic? Or it's some kind of chronal time displacement thing that's going to fuck up the Earth, right? And he's placed it underneath the headquarters of ForceWorks HQ in Ventura. Or maybe I think the headquarters is called Ventura. So towards the end, they discover that Tony has done this. Tony has replaced Plato, the sentient computer, with Virgil. And then he programs the whole headquarters to kill ForceWorks, and of course this will eventually lead to ForceWorks getting canceled, because already towards the end they're all like, why are we betrayed, why Moonraker turns out to be a fraud because he was made to be in love with Spider-Woman, and then of course Amanda gets killed and everyone's just like freaking out because it's betrayal upon betrayal. Rhodey of course is upset because Tony was his buddy, and now he's so he lost the War Machine armor, and now he has this new alien armor called Warwear. And it's pretty fucking righteous and cool. And nobody wants to believe that Tony is a killer until the evidence is made apparent. Then, of course, he has this Arctic bunker. I'm talking about Tony. And he's got the Machine Smith over here as his robotic assistant. And he's captured Marianne Rogers, who's broken out of the asylum. Mask, who's no longer Madam Mask. It's just Mask. I don't think it's Whitney Frost. I think, right? It was a robot the last time I recalled Mask. I don't know what's happened. But she escapes the bunker. I'm talking about Mask. And goes to the Avengers to help them fight the Anachronauts and figure out how the fuck are we going to stop Tony Stark, because Tony Stark just seems unstoppable and too powerful. And him and Newt, they just wipe out all of the Avengers. Then meanwhile, Tony struck Janet with the Wasp. I like using their first name like real people. But he blasts her with a repulsor ray, and she falls unconscious. But then she becomes mutated. This is how the Wasp turns into a weird looking creature. And I got to tell you, this is Avengers 394. I remember this cover right here. I remember it in the comic book store very vividly. This is what, January 1996 apparently is the indicia, which is like November of 95 when this came out, right? I remember when that came out. And I remember November 95 was when Uncanny X-Men 326 and X-Men 46 came out. Those were the two issues that I bought. And I remember seeing this on the shelves, but just not being interested. It's like, the Avengers. No X-Men, no Spider-Man. I'm not interested. But yeah, Janet becomes this creature. But also I got to mention, great team of people. We have Bob Harris, Terry Kavanagh, not Kavanagh, like idiot Omar says on Near Mint Condition. It's Kavanagh, guys. Trust me. Bob Harris, Terry Kavanagh does co-writing with Bob Harris on Avengers, and he fully writes on Iron Man. You have Dan Abnett, who co-writes Force Works with Andy Lanning, but he also does solo writing on War Machine. Then you have Mike Deodato Jr. and Hector Oliveira doing some other stuff. Iron Man. I remember Oliveira does Iron Man. But it's great prime 90s stuff. All the panels look all like far out. Wait, I actually like the Avengers. Like the Avengers, they don't use any more white paneling. It's just everything bleeds into the next picture. Everything's all big and violent and 90s. All the women are sexy. All the men are hunky. I know I'm missing some stuff, guys. What am I missing? Oh my God, there's just so many plot lines, so many things. The Priests of Palma, the Anachronauts, Kang and Mantis, Hawkeye, Iron Man, the Avengers, Tuck, Luna, Force Works, War Machine, Warwear. I mean, I'm a little hyper, guys. Sorry. I just came from the doctor, so I'm just a little frazzled. Also, I hadn't eaten all day, and I just had coffee too when I was reading the book. Just loaded off of caffeine. Anyway, there's a lot, guys. I will say this. Very, very confusing at times. An epic in the truest sense of the word. It's on par with Executioner's Song over in the X titles. I mean, it's the 90s. This is so indicative of the 90s. Just hyperbolic, massive storylines. But it's an event. It's definitely an event. And by the way, it continues, by the way. It's on par with Executioner's Song, and I dare say the Clone Saga. I mean, this is just part one, guys. We have part two, which, let me get the book out. It's going to be Age of Innocence. And this is going to have Time Slide, which again continues from The Crossing. So now they've decided, they've already beaten Newt, the Anachronauts. Luna has died, adult Luna. She sacrificed herself to protect her parents. They now realize that the secret door the secret room that's in the sub-basement of Avengers Mansion is a time portal that will, of course, send them back in time. And I think this is where they get young Tony Stark to fight old Tony Stark, or older Tony Stark. And then eventually, the series will eventually cancel with younger Tony Stark, teenage Tony Stark. So we're going to have that. The ending here. Gosh, what else? I don't want to leave anything out, guys. I left a ton of information out. God, this is going to be the end of Force Works and War Machine. Both those series get canceled. Avengers will eventually get canceled with issue 4 with 2, which, no. Actually, volume 27 of Avengers will come out in December, and that's going to pretty much fill in the remainder of Avengers before the Onslaught event. That'll cover 389 to 402 without the Iron Man issues and of this one, but it's pretty much going to be the same thing. I don't know. I think the Crossing is also going to be included in Avengers 27. It has to, because that's an Avengers story. So yeah, but this was primarily an Iron Man centric storyline. So all of the Crossing is in this volume of Iron Man. So it's only going to be part of it in the Avengers Volume 27. And in this, is just like the latter half of the Crossing. It's like the Clone Saga. It's just too big to fit into one storyline. You need an omnibus, guys. You need one omnibus for these stories, okay? But I'm telling you guys right now, I love these epics more than the Omni. I could never take reading an Omni that's like this big, 1,000 fucking pages. Nah, forget it. Epics is where it's at. So anyway, guys, this is going to be the next book, Age of Innocence, 1996, which will be Iron Man 325 to 332. That closes out the series completely, the first volume. God. Okay. I'm not going to put on. Okay. There's a lot of issues to read here, guys. So this is the next issue. This is what I just read, and you should read it too, guys. The Crossing, epic stuff. And you know what? They should make the movies based on this storyline. Fuck all this other crap. I don't know what Doomsday is going to be about. It should be about this. How about the Avengers, The Crossing, and Time Slide? Make that into a movie. Kevin Feige, you idiot. You guys hear about Thunderbolts? Thunderbolts flopped. Yeah. This is how it happens. Okay, I'm not going to get into that, guys. I'm going to make a video and we'll talk about Thunderbolts at some point. I've not seen it. I don't really care to see it, but I do have volume 3 of Thunderbolts, and as soon as I'm finished with Iron Man, guys, we'll jump on that, and then we'll talk about Thunderbolts and the calamity that is the movie. I don't know. All right, I'm done, guys. I got to go take a big dump. You guys keep reading those epics. I know that was TMI. That was very gross, but Alpha Chad. All right, guys, keep reading those epics. I read them so you don't have to, but you know my deal, guys. I enjoy them. You should too. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. Any questions I missed, please let me know your feedback. I hope you guys read the storyline. I hope you read the book itself. It's not even a storyline or even merely a crossover. This is an event, guys. This is what changes the status quo of the Avengers. It's funny. I thought Disassembled, I may have had like a Mandela effect. I thought that this was part of the Disassembled storyline. I remember Disassembled had to do with Scarlet Witch killing members of the Avengers, but I didn't know that this was part of it too. There should have been more killings, though. There should have been more members of the Avengers getting bumped off. Force works, just a whole body count. Oops, I elbowed one of my epics here. It should have been a fucking body count of just like mass murder and killings, and it's like watching a daytime soap opera. It's a lot of fun. All right, guys. Like I said, this is the next book, and this is the review of this book. I'll see you next time, guys. Take care. Bye. Bye.